What time is it? What day is it? Where am I? Ah!
He's Derek.
I don't hear the music. I can feel the bass.
She's Romaine.
They can come visit me at my cattery and they can get a picture of me and my pussy.
This is Derek and Romaine.
2.0, bitches.
She finally has her cattery coming together.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Romaine's long national nightmare of being a gypsy woman, she's homeless, has ended. But
Has it? I'm kidding. I hope
probably
so.
has. Look, we're pre-recording this, but I have to imagine that it's got to be over by now.
It's got to be by now. Oh, God.
We're recording this.
If it's not, I might be in the ground in a different kind of residence.
We're recording this of June of 2025. I'm sure you're in your new house by now.
Oh, I'm sure I am.
I'm just kidding. We are actually recording this only a few days before it's actually airing. So
yes, which is not what we usually do. Usually they're weeks in advance,
or months. Let me tell you something, because we have over the holiday break, we had been pre-recording for months and months and months because we didn't know when Romaine was going to be moving and whatever else. And so we'd recorded a bunch of things during the summer, and we're like, I don't know when this is going to air, but we think it's going to air like in September.
Right.
And then some of them ended up airing in December. So we had some things that were like very summery fall, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, it's December, and we're like, hey, let's talk air conditioning. And I was like, oh, bitches, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to us? Anyway.
Sorry. Blame it on me.
We're recording this in February. It is February, so
yes.
I actually think even our sort of, quote, evergreen topics will be a little more topical and timely than some of our pre-records. Anyway, we're having a great time, and we hope you are as well. And we have another terrific show for you today, so hopefully you will enjoy it as much as we are enjoying our lives. Although I think Romaine
is enjoying my life the most right now.
No, I'm worried. I'm honestly a little worried about your mental state,
girl,
frankly.
I have been saying this for 9 months. For 9 months, I have said my mental state is not good. But you know what? I can I be honest, Eric?
Yeah,
I don't think it's just stress that's making my mental state go sideways.
Interesting. What do you think it is?
I think it's menopause.
Interesting.
So, so I've been, I don't know, we haven't really talked about this a lot on the show, but we've talked about it a little bit. So I am currently 47 years old, about to be 48, right?
Okay.
So I'm nearing 50, and that is when most women are pretty securely in menopause or, perimenopause at the very least. And I have felt for a while that there have been some weird things happening with me. Now, part of it, I've been on this medical journey with my diabetes and things like that. So I thought, I've chalked a lot of it up to that and like stress from last year from Move, but I'm actually starting to think that what I'm experiencing has a lot more to do with menopause and perimenopause than anything else. So for instance, I've talked for quite some time how I've had a lot of trouble sleeping, right? I wake up in the middle of the night. I can't go back to sleep. I don't get a lot of sleep at night. Some nights I maybe get 4 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. Like I've had a lot of issues with my sleeping. I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried medications. I've tried pot. I've tried all kinds of stuff to help me try to sleep. I've tried melatonin, all of those things. Nothing has really been very effective. I definitely experience, I wouldn't call them hot flashes, but I would definitely call them extreme warm-ups.
No, but your wife is experiencing hot flashes.
So my wife Iris, I feel like started her menopause journey quite a while ago. And hers really came out in like super aggressive mood swings more than anything. But she's had some other signs of menopause as well. But for her, that was it. But for me, so I've had sleeping issues. I have had a lot of brain fog, which evidently is a very, very common impact of menopause that I did not realize was something that could impact you. We all know that I've infamously been on a sex strike with my wife, and I have a very specific reason for it. But I also kind of just don't want to have sex right now, which is not like me at all. But it does match the symptoms of menopause. And so there's a lot of things that are happening with me. I have weird emotional outbursts where I just feel like crying for no reason. There's a lot of little signs that what I'm actually experiencing is perimenopause, menopause. So,
in fairness, you do have plenty of things in your life to cry about.
oh,
so
there's no question about that. I'm not saying that but what I am saying is this might be deeper than just stress.
Right.
I might actually have to talk to first I have to find a new fucking doctor now that I'm here in Texas. I have to find a whole new medical team. I haven't even had time to do that. But I do think I'm going to have to talk to my doctor about this because I think this might be a big part of what's happening with me. And it's the timing is right. Like if I wasn't in my late 40s, going into what feels like my 70s, I would say, no, there's no way this could be what it is. But because of my age and, things like that, I think maybe there is something to this, and maybe I do need to go talk to my doctor about it. But the more I read about perimenopause, it kind of freaks me out. I'm not going to lie. Because I don't have my mom to talk to about it because she's dead. And so I have talked to my sister Trish about it because she's been through menopause. And so she's been a little bit of information for me and helpful information when I have questions about it. Because I don't really have like an older woman that I can go to other than my sister Trish to ask about this kind of stuff. So I'm worried about going to my doctor because I hear a lot of horror stories from women who go to their doctor to talk to them about menopause, and a lot of their doctors dismiss their concerns or don't fully address what's happening. And like sometimes they'll take them for hormonal like level checks and things like that. But then if the numbers don't reflect what the women are feeling, the doctors will be like, "Oh, you're fine. Your numbers are normal, so don't stress about it." But if there are real symptoms and there's some way to help me, I want the help. But a lot of doctors, it feels like, are very dismissive, and I'm a little scared that I'll go and talk to my doctor about it, and they're just going to be dismissive of it, and then I'm just going to continue suffering in menopausal hell forever. But we'll see. But I do think I'm going to have to talk to my primary care physician about this because, I'm a little worried that it might be that. A lot of my symptoms that I think I'm experiencing match up with the symptoms of perimenopause, menopause. So it makes me feel like, fuck, man, maybe that's what's going on with me.
Well, I think what you should do, first of all, good for you for enjoying your lower 48.
Thank you.
But my recommendation to you is you should find a lady doctor. I know they don't prefer to be called that. They just want to be called doctorette. But if you find yourself a 60-year-old lady doctor.
Yeah, but I think, even then it's not always as helpful as you think.
You got a better chance of her hearing you out.
Yeah.
If it's an older woman.
I agree. I definitely would prefer female doctors, period. Just because I feel like they take a little bit more time and listen than male doctors do.
Yeah, I have moved into a space over the last few years where, like, my primary care physician is a woman, my dentist is a woman, and I like it fine. I mean, I in many ways prefer it.
Yeah, some of the best doctors I've ever had were women.
Let me tell you something. As a man, having a male doctor, boy, do they let you slack off. Women are like, we got to focus on the details here.
That's true.
And men are like, I don't know, you seem okay to me. Get on out there, bro. That's
funny.
Men have this, are you in pain? Oh, I can walk it off. Like you've got a broken leg. No, I'll just walk off this broken leg. So, to have male doctors like, okay, walk it off, bye. I think it's part of why men have shorter lives than women. Because they don't take warning signs seriously. And male doctors also, sometimes are just like, let it go. And I would imagine that male patients are just very difficult to engage on their health the way that women are probably easier to engage on, like the details are taking care of themselves and whatever else. And so I would imagine that for women who are doctors, having female patients is probably optimal because they're far more likely to be receptive to, hey, let's run this test and see how things are going.
Right.
As opposed to a man who's like, I don't need any tests. Look at me. I'm upright. I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, in the last year or so, I definitely feel like I have taken my health much more seriously. And I definitely want a team of doctors around me who's also doing that. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah. But we'll have to see how, if your life actually adjusts once you are situated a little longer in your new place, because I did not have a particularly stressful house selling, moving, house buying situation, but it still was stressful. I mean, it was nothing compared to yours, sweetie. I mean, I can't even complain about 1 minute of my thing because yours was terrible. Like
it's not been great. No.
Horror show.
Yeah.
But even still, it is stressful.
Yeah.
Of what am I forgetting a detail? Am I, is everything being taken care of? Is the outcome going to be the outcome that I want?
Right.
How long is it going to take? Like, it's all very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, I'm just like, oh, have I let everyone know about my new address? Like, am I missing mail?
Are you kidding?
Just like disappearing?
There's so many details like that I feel like I haven't even thought about. Like, and I'm just like, God, did I remember everything? I don't even know if I did.
Girl, you originally scheduled this recording for a Sunday.
I know.
And then you rescheduled it for the correct day, but the wrong time.
I know.
So, yeah, I am highly confident that you are definitely dropping the ball and forgetting things somewhere.
That's what I was going to tell you before the show. So I did. So before this recording that Derek and I are doing, I keep getting confused by the time difference between Derek and I, right? Because I am now in the Central Time Zone and he is in the Eastern Time Zone, and
Twilight Zone.
And I don't know. So this is going to sound stupid, but like in my email calendar, I don't know if the calendar is set up in Central Time or Eastern Time.
Sweetie.
I think it is set up in Central Time because that's where I'm at now, but I'm not 100% certain of that. So now when I set things up in the calendar, I always make a point of trying to write in Central Time or Eastern Time. And even in the one I set up for today, I set all of it up wrong. I just set it completely up wrong. I set it up for an hour later than it was supposed to be. And I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I really don't. But what I was going to tell you is in my new studio at the house, I have hopefully solved this problem because I went out, Derek, and I bought 2 clocks. Like old-fashioned clocks with the minute hand and the hour hand and the second hand. And one of them, and they're right in front of my desk where I sit to do the show. And one of them says New York.
Oh, God.
And one of them says Texas. So that I could just look up and know exactly like where I'm at and what I'm doing. And then I also have a third clock in the studio that is in military time. And that is because certain software that we use requires military time, and I'm no good with military time. I always fuck it up. So I have a military time clock, I have Eastern time clock, Central time clock, just to make it easier for my brain to wrap around this dumb shit.
Congratulations. You invented time zones. Good job.
Thank you. I didn't invent them, but I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do this at this time and Derek's going to do this at this time. It just makes it so much easier when I'm planning if I can visually see the difference in the time, because otherwise my brain just gets stupid. I'm telling you, it's beyond stupid, but it's true. But I'm proud of me for coming up with at least a solution in my studio that makes it a little bit easier.
And this is why I worry about you.
I know.
The listeners worry about me, and I think they should redirect their focus on you. You're much more of a worry these days.
These days, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Obviously, I'm always a fall risk because I fall all the time. But other than that,
yeah, I don't think I'm at risk for physical injury the way you are. I'm more of a mental, like, what the fuck is going on with me? But I write shit down. Like, I'm the queen of the Post-it note. But it's because if I don't write shit down, I just forget shit. It's like in my brain and then out of my brain. In my brain, gone. Gone.
I had so the other night, because unlike Romaine, I have no trouble sleeping. I did actually last week. I had one night where I could not fall asleep.
Oh no!
And this is extremely rare for me because I never have trouble going to sleep. Like never.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep on planes. I can sleep
Right.
anywhere. And but especially here now, like everything is going great. I'm very happy with how things are. So I'm even, I'm back to 9 hours of sleep a night.
Nice.
Because I have to say, during my stressful summer, I think I was averaging only 8 hours of sleep a night, which is low for me. And now I'm back to 9 and things are great. And, but the other night, like it was one of these things where it was like approaching 3 a.m. and I was still not asleep. And I was just thinking, why am I not sleeping? Because it wasn't like, oh, my mind is racing. I'm thinking about all the work things I have to do, or, oh, I'm so worried about whatever. It was none of that. I was just like, why am I still, I was just not sleepy. It's like, why am I not sleepy? I should be sleepy right now. And I was just not, my body was just like, no, we're awake now. It's like, oh, okay. Which is very rude.
Yeah.
But the other night I did have like a work thing and I was like already in bed and close to sleep. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to do this work thing and I don't want to forget it. And I was like, well, should I email myself on my phone?
Oh, I do that shit all the time.
But I was like, you know what? I don't want to get the phone screen. Like I was so close to sleep. I was like, I don't want to, and it was in the wake of this night where I didn't fall asleep, but it was like 3 a.m. I was like, I don't want to get up, get into a lit room, do this work thing, go back to bed, and then be wide awake, right? So I was like, but if I look at my phone screen, will I not be able to go to sleep now because I'll be like more awake? Or should I just like Beetlejuice myself, tell me this thing 3 times to remember it in the morning when I wake up, and then maybe I'll remember it when I wake up.
That's what I do, and I always forget.
Well, I Beetlejuiced myself, and it worked. When I woke up, it was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, Beetlejuice. And then I was actually able to remember the thing that I like. But it was real touch and go there. And but I was able to pull it off. So this is why I keep saying, ladies, gentlemen, please worry about Romaine Patterson. I'm fine. I'm getting 9 hours of sleep. I love the place where I live. And I mean, I can't, this house is too full of food. Like I'm going to gain 40 pounds living here because I just am like, I'm so happy and I'm just eating all the time and it's marvelous. And I got my new fabulous oven and everything's going great. So it's a problem.
Speaking of eating all the time.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. I love my wife, but I don't think she understands the medications that I'm on because she's constantly buying food for me to eat and then getting upset when I don't eat it. And I'm like, babe, it's not that I don't want to eat the food that you got me. It's that I don't have an appetite. So one of the medications I'm on is a GLP-1, Mounjaro, and it keeps you from eating a lot. It just does. Like you just don't eat a lot of food because you're just not fucking hungry, or you are hungry and then you eat a little bit of food and then you're instantly full. So I eat probably, I don't know, a third to a quarter as much as I used to in like a single sitting. And
Le Petit Romaine.
And Iris, she's like, I just don't get it. Like, why are you not eating the food I get you? And I'm like, babe, just stop buying food. Like, if I want something, I'll tell you I want something, but just stop thinking, oh, Romaine is going to like this. I'm going to buy it for her. I said, because it's kind of a waste. I said, so please just don't do that anymore. And I don't think she quite gets it. But like, I feel like we're constantly throwing away food that I don't eat. But I'm like, babe, I'm not hungry. And our new house has the biggest fucking pantry you've ever seen. And I'm just like, if my mother lived with us, like when she was alive, she would have filled that pantry. Every shelf would be filled. It would be so full of food. And I'm like, please, Iris, don't go crazy and fill this pantry. Like, be calm, be chill. Don't.
She won't be.
I know. I'm worried about it. I'm very worried about it because I'm like, oh.
But also, you're in Texas now. Everything's bigger in Texas. So you're going to be like,
including
oh,
the
you know what
grocery
we
stores.
need? A whole side of ribs. Your wife is going to come home with literally half a cow.
Oh my God.
Day.
No, you joke about that, but just the other day we had this conversation. My wife's like, hey, so my brother and I were talking. How would you feel about going in on a cow? And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, he wants to buy like a whole cow and have it butchered and then like split it amongst a couple of people. How would you feel about that? And I'm like, I'm fine with it, but we don't have a freezer big enough for a whole, like a cow takes up a lot of freezer room.
Look, we all remember the episode of I Love Lucy.
Right.
Where she buys whatever it was, a side of beef.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of meat.
It is a lot of meat. And
then you also kind of have to eat it in a relatively, timely fashion because you don't want to get freezer burn and things like that. And granted, nowadays they package them really, really well and things like that. But still, it's like, I mean, I'm all for it, but I'm also like, I preferred it when Iris she had us as like a thing where she'd have mail delivered to us or like meat delivered to us like once a month. And we get all this fresh meat and then we would just cook it that month. And then, every month we got more. And I really liked that. Like, I thought that was a really good program that she had us in. I'm going to try to encourage her to do that instead.
Well, we used to do that because there's like a local, I think it might be national or regional, but it's basically one of these things where they do a meat delivery.
Yeah.
And we did that when Mike and Brian were living with me because Brian likes Whole Foods. Like, he likes a higher end thing, but there was the closest Whole Foods like 45 minutes away. Like, it was not close.
Right.
And so we wouldn't go there very often. And, the meat selection at my local supermarket, it's fine. But, I mean, it's not
the same as getting from like a local.
Yeah, right. So they did the local meat thing, which was actually kind of nice because it does help to solve the what are we making for dinner thing. Mm-hmm. Because you'll have different cuts of different meats, and then it's like, okay, well, we've got whatever it is, pork chops, or we have, a whole rotisserie chicken or whatever it is. So it's like It helps to decide for you what to make for dinner because you already have a meat in front of you to center the rest of your meal around. So it is for people who are like, I struggle to make dinner. I think is a good solution for that. Mm-hmm. If you don't mind cooking, but you also struggle to think of what to make for dinner. And by the way, this is an eternal struggle because they had, like, there was an interview with Aretha Franklin like in the 80s, and they asked her like what the biggest challenge is for her, and she said deciding what's for dinner every night.
I mean, amen, sister.
Because, she used to cook like on the road as well as like at home, and she had kids and grandkids and whatever else. And so it was like, everybody was like, what are you cooking? And so this is not a new problem or a new phenomenon. So I understand why people do the meal prep or the meal deliveries, the sort of mostly finished meals or finished meals that they can get.
We do that a lot too.
Yeah, but the meat thing is actually really a good idea because you do get pretty high quality stuff. And the one that's here sort of sources from local farms, probably in the general New England area. I mean, I don't think they're like right around the corner, but you are getting, even though it's coming to you frozen, you are getting like a fresher, a more recent meat, and one that probably is like actually lived on a farm, the way you imagine farm life to be, not some industrial thing. But now that I'm here, I have, because I was going to do it after Mike and Brian left, and I never signed up because, I'm lazy. And then now that I'm here in the new place, I'm like, okay, I actually might do it again, because like I did enjoy the quality meat. The only thing is, I'm just one person, so I have to get into a routine of what I'm making before I throw something in there. They also have this. I keep getting these ads for these for this Misfits markets. This is not an endorsement. Yeah. So this is they basically, I mean, people may or may not know this.
They get the ugly vegetables and shit.
Yeah. But when you buy fruits and vegetables at the supermarket, the supermarkets get the pretty ones.
Yes.
And then there are some fruits and vegetables that are not like as attractive.
They're just like misshapen or like they're a little weird. Yeah, they're just not pretty. They're ugly food. They're ugly fruits and vegetables.
Right. And so a lot of them would end up getting wasted, or they would end up in depending on the circumstances, they might end up in, apples that aren't pretty might end up in applesauce. Like some company buys them to make applesauce
or
out of.
They'll buy them for
like
animal feed or shit.
Or for animal feed. Right, exactly. So this Misfits market, which again, this is not a paid endorsement or whatever. I'm just repeating what I have seen online, is that but yeah, they sell sort of these kinds of fruits and vegetables that would otherwise, like, they taste fine, they're perfectly good, but they just
same shit, they just don't look pretty.
Right. And so, to sort of cut down on food waste. I think this is a smart thing. I would consider signing up for something like that also. I'd have to dig into it and see, like, how much are you sending? Because this is the real problem for me, and I'm bringing it up because of your Iris wants to buy a cow scenario.
Right.
Because in my head, I'm like, well, that's going to be a lot of beef.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of you.
Right.
I think if you had a bigger family, if there were 5 of you or something, then it would probably make sense because you'd go through that meat pretty fast.
You'd be surprised. So when I was in high school, my brother Patrick raised cattle, and every year my brother Patrick and his family, it was him and his wife and their kid, and then at my house it was my mom, my dad, and me, and we used to split a cow every year with my brother Patrick, and it lasted you most of the year. The cow did. And I wouldn't say we ate beef every meal because we certainly didn't. But we ate a lot of beef, and but the thing is, at our house, we don't eat a lot of beef. We eat a lot of chicken. We eat a lot of pork. We eat some beef, but not a ton of beef. We don't eat a lot of red meat, in our house because Romy doesn't like it. And Iris doesn't, we eat it, but she doesn't love it she prefers healthier proteins, or what she deems as healthier proteins. I don't know. I like red meat. When I'm on a cruise ship, there's nothing I want to eat more than red meat. Give me a steak. I'll have it every night. But that's just me.
Well, what I like about the cruise is eating things that I would never make for myself at home. I know that everyone knows my love of soft serve ice cream, and it's because, like, I don't have a soft serve machine at home, and I probably could get some kind of ice cream maker.
Oh my God,
but
if you had a soft serve ice cream machine
I'd be so fucking fat.
You'd be the size of a fucking dump truck.
This is why I've been really reluctant to get an ice cream maker, because I think I would weigh 500 pounds.
You would. There's no question about it. You would eat it all the time.
All the time, because I love ice cream. And if I had a way to make ice cream at home, because I would tell myself, like, oh, well, I'm making it with fresh cream, so obviously it's fresher.
Right. No, God.
No. They're just like the caloric intake would be just like an absolute
Although I would be
for me.
interested to see how creative you got with flavors of ice cream if you were making ice cream at home. Because something tells me you would try a lot of different shit. You would just throw shit at the wall and see what stuck.
Maybe. I know recently like during the holidays, like I got into making these oatmeal raisin cookies, but I made them with like cran raisins and orange zest, whatever, like very, very wintry kind of a like fall.
Have you put that oatmeal raisin recipe, by the way, in the app yet?
Sure. What day is it? Sure, it's in there.
Okay, because if it's not in there, I would like it if you'd put it in there, because I would like to try your oatmeal raisin recipe.
I will just tell you, I know that this is, I won't have time to do the recipe again before we leave, but I made it with the barley malt syrup.
Yeah.
Instead of like corn syrup or molasses. Because, what I'm trying to do is that Romaine likes a soft oatmeal raisin cookie that is hard on the outside.
Well, it doesn't have to be hard, but it has like a little bit of a crust.
A little bit of a crustiness to it. Anyway.
Like a little bit.
So I made and so this is one of the things that the malt syrup can give you more of a crust, because like when you make bagels, people don't know that, but with a bagel, you make the dough and everything, right? And then the dough gets boiled. And then after the dough is boiled, then you put it in the oven and bake it. And but in the boiling, you put the malt barley syrup in the water. And so then it coats the outside of the bagel, and that's why you get that nice
I did not know that.
crust to the bagel.
Interesting.
That's not like the rest of it is like soft and chewy,
Right.
but the exterior, so this is part of like the secret of how you get that in a bagel, right?
Oh, interesting.
And so I thought, well, with my pursuit of this oatmeal raisin cookie for Romaine, this might be a good substitution for recipes that usually call for molasses, because you might get a little bit more of that like crustiness to it.
Right.
Without it being like too hard and brittle. But anyway, the problem was I wanted to make the cookies and I didn't make it right away, but I had zested my orange already. And then the zest dried out and I didn't soak my cran raisins beforehand. So they were kind of dried out. And so the cookies came out too dry.
Uh-oh.
So, but I have more dough in the freezer because I had so much dough. So I was like, well, let me try it on a steam bake to see if a steam bake resolves some of this dryness in the cookie. So this is why I haven't put the recipe up, because I'm still tweaking it a little bit. But I will tell people, if you do normally make an oatmeal raisin cookie, you can try, because flavor-wise, delish. Like really, because I was a little worried because the malt syrup has when I did it in like plain white bread, it gave the bread more of a wheat rye bread kind of a flavor, like a tangier, more savory bread flavor to it. And so I was a little worried about that. But honestly, with the oatmeal cookies, because the oat part of it is so strong anyway. And then when you get into like the raisins, I mean, I liked it with the cran raisins because I think it gives it a little more dimension to it. And then with the cinnamon, like you have other flavors that are going up against it. So it's not as, you don't have to worry about the flavor profile of the malt syrup, I think, as much in the cookie as you would in bread, where with the bread, it's literally just flour, water, a little bit of sugar and salt, and then that's it. So any flavor, anything that adds any flavor to it is going to, like, you're really going to feel that flavor, right?
Right.
So, like, even if you made it with butter instead of with, like a very light oil, you're going to taste that butter, because it's, it doesn't, because flour has almost no flavor naturally to it on its own. So, whatever other things you're adding in, you're really gonna taste that. So anyway, but I will put the recipe up, and I'm gonna try making another batch of the cookies on the steam bake and see if that makes them a little softer. But I also think I overcooked them because I was like, I don't think they're cooked. I think the batch, I didn't do it right. I think I fucked it up in the baking as much as anything.
Ruh-roh.
But I'm going to try again. And, but I will post my recipe and then people can try it for themselves at home. But I think it ended up, my dough was a little too on the dry side. And then I think I cooked it too long. And then that just made it drier. But I mean, the inside, it's good. But I think I'm going to try a steam bake.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing how it goes.
I hope it's not a disaster.
It could be. It definitely could be.
But speaking of food,
Yeah.
we're going to Japan next year.
Okay. We are. And
I'm just going to reiterate for people, because there's a lot of people are having a lot of FOMO about our trip to Japan. And because I have been to Japan and I loved it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a prediction here. Romaine, Japan is going to become Romaine's new favorite place.
It might.
Because it really ticks a lot of Romaine boxes. But also, it's just very different from other places that we have been.
Right.
But, it has a lot of what you like. It has incredible food, and you already like Japanese food.
I do.
So, you're really going to like that. And then just it's a beautiful country, and the architecture is really lovely, and they have, fantastic art. So it has a lot of the things that you like. And then like Tokyo is such a fantastic, vibrant city, the way that New York is, but clean and quiet. So like, it's all the things you like about New York City, but without the things you hate about New York City. Like, you never have to worry about, like, am I going to step in something disgusting here?
Right. Which is lovely because...
But also, like, the streets are quiet. You're not hearing cars honking, and, like, it's just lovely. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize you could have a vibrant, large city that was also totally pleasant to be in. So it has a lot. And I know you love sort of historical things. So it has like the Imperial Gardens and that kind of thing. So there's just a lot. There's just a lot here that I think that you will like. You'll hate how long the flight is because it is a long-ass flight. But, just like Hawaii, like, ugh, this flight is long. But once you get there, you're like, I don't care. Like, it's great here. So I think you'll really, really like Japan. But
I'm excited.
But the ship that we're sailing on, because it's sort of peak cherry blossom season, the ship itself is sold out. Like, it's sold out. It's not our group is sold out. Like, the whole ship sold out. So there really is not space to join us on this trip if you're not already booked. I'm sorry.
But this is, by the way, why, if there's a trip that sounds interesting to you with us, you need to book it right away. You can't wait until you're like, because I know there's a lot of people are like, oh, well, maybe the prices are going to go down later and I'll just book then. Like, no, don't fucking wait. Take the time. Put down the small deposit. The deposits are not large to get your room booked. Put down the small deposit, get yourself booked in your room, secure your spot because these ships are selling out faster and faster these days. And by the way, they're not dropping the prices. They tend to be going up, 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 even as you get closer to the cruises. So, don't delay. Just get your deposit in ASAP. Secure your good spot.
Yeah, but also if the price drops, we can get the dropped price. So, there really is no downside to booking as early as possible. Anyway, we did just recently announce that we're going to Alaska.
I love Alaska.
In September of next year. And Alaska is so great, and it's going to be a beautiful time of year to go. We're going to have like fall colors, plus it'll be Alaska. It should be really, really stunning.
Honestly, what is going to probably even be better than that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the time that the salmon are doing their salmon thing and all the bears are eating all the salmon. So it probably is a great time to go and see the bears in a lot of the national parks and things like that. Like, they'll have tours and stuff, but it's going to be around that time of year, I think. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool time to see some really amazing nature in Alaska. Definitely. I mean, Alaska is just such a beautiful place anyway. And honestly, I will tell you, just from my own personal experience, every time we go to Alaska, I get something new out of the experience. But what is most interesting to me is how much it has changed since the first time we've gone there. And I feel like you have to go sooner rather than later to Alaska to enjoy the beauty of the glaciers and things like that. Because I'm not going to lie, those bitches are melting and they are not as big as they once were. And I've seen it over how many years now have we been going to Alaska? Almost 20 years off and on we've gone to Alaska because I got married in Alaska with Iris. And we've been married for a lot of years, almost 20 years. And I've seen some significant changes in that time in the various trips we've done. So do not delay in going to see Alaska. It's too beautiful to miss.
Yeah. Our first trip to Alaska was with
our family.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it has been a long time. But yeah, when we go, like, there is less and less ice in the water every time we go. Mm-hmm. And the glaciers get smaller and smaller. Yeah. And so I agree. Like, you should go to really experience it before. I mean, it's still going to be a beautiful place, but it's just not going to be the same.
Right.
So anyway, but I brought up Japan because a restaurant in Japan in Osaka is in a little bit of trouble.
Uh-oh, what'd they do?
So there's a ramen restaurant in Osaka. And so they have been they announced that they were banning Chinese diners from their restaurant.
Oh.
And now, I don't want to get too in the weeds about sort of Asian racism, but within Asian countries and among Pacific Islanders, like there is a fair amount of racism from like the animus between like people from Japan and people in China. Obviously, it's not like it's probably different than other places, but a lot of it is just sort of wrapped up in national pride. Like we're very different from you, and in much the same way, it's probably more like how Americans are with Canada or Mexico. That it's not. It's just like, well, I know you're our neighbor, but we're very different. We have our own identity. We're just it's much more on that level. But there is a certain amount of racism that goes on in Asia among Asian populations from one to the other. But and then Japan has a very like isolated society. Like they don't like outsiders. But this restaurant said that they were banning Chinese diners because they are being disruptive. But people online think that the Chinese diners are being disruptive because the restaurant has two different prices.
Oh.
And in Japanese, the prices are lower than they are in English. And the Chinese tourists who can read Japanese know that they are trying to overcharge people who are not Japanese at the restaurant. And so now the restaurant is like, we're banning anyone from China from eating here. And the Chinese diners are like, here's the menu, and you can see that the prices are different for anyone who is not Japanese at this ramen
I
place.
don't know the laws in Japan, but is that legal?
I don't know.
Because I think in America that you would get in trouble for like price gouging or something like that if you did something like that. Yes?
Maybe. I assume so. Like, I don't think, in the U.S. you can't, people would be able to file like a civil rights discrimination claim.
Right.
If a restaurant was charging two different prices. Well, but I mean, they offer discounts. Like a restaurant can have like a AARP, like a senior discount. And
so they could have a Japanese discount. Oh, you're Japanese, I'll give you a discount.
Well, I mean, we take for granted that there are different pricing based on age. And I mean, I don't know how strictly speaking that is legal. I mean, a younger person, if they really wanted to make trouble, they could probably sue and say that discount pricing for people over the age of 65 is discriminatory against people who are under the age of 65. And they would probably be able to win that like on a constitutional basis. But I don't think that would be particularly popular. I don't think anybody's doing it because like, this would be a great popular movement.
Oldies deserve a fucking discount. They're old.
Yeah, but also, I mean, most of the time, the discount is tied to being a member of AARP or AAA or whatever. Like, if you have a membership, you can get discounts if you are part of some kind of membership, which is probably how most of these places, like, that's how they get around any kind of an age discrimination thing. And now AARP allows anyone of any age to join. So, you can be 35, get your AARP card, and go and get your senior discount at whatever X, Y, and Z. If you're really that committed.
Gotcha.
Although I don't know, there's a lot of 35-year-olds who are going on a date with somebody and they're like, let me whip out my AARP and save us 10% here. Mm-hmm. But then again, I don't know. Maybe if you're with another thrifty person, they might be impressed.
Maybe.
Yeah. But in this case, I think it probably is. I mean, at the very least, it's wrong.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But they should get in trouble for that because I think it's bullshit. Because it's not like it's an oldie that you're giving a discount to because they're on a fixed income. It does seem very racist.
It doesn't seem great.
But also not just towards China, to people from China, but also to like people from other European countries who only read English. They're also getting charged more. Although in the U.S., you know what? We have something. We don't have a racism tax, but we do have the pink tax, where women's products that are the exact same as men products are often charged. We are charged much more for those same products.
Yeah, I have to say, it is pretty outrageous.
Gross.
The price differences between male products and female products, like a sort of male identified and female identified products, we should say. And it's why you see a lot of women like just buying men's stuff.
Yeah, the best example of this for people who are like, what are they talking about? Is razors. Men's razors versus women's razors. Women's razors are infinitely more expensive than a man's razor, made by the same companies often, and literally sometimes it's just a different color. But yeah, a lot of like, it's really obvious in like a lot of grooming products and things like that where the pink tax really comes in, and it's fucking stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Yeah. I remember when I got married, I mean, I've told this before, but when I got married, we decided to have everyone in tuxedos because it was two men getting married. And so it's like, well, we'll just have all the men and all the women in our wedding parties because we both had men and women in our parties. My sister was in mine, and Craig's sister was in his. And so, and my sister was sort of at an age where there were lots of friends who were getting married, and she was having to get like bridesmaids dresses and that kind of thing.
That shit's so expensive.
And I was like, oh, yeah, you just go and there's tuxedo place and you rent a tuxedo and it's like almost nothing and whatever else. And then, you know, when you're done at the end of the evening, you just wad it up in a ball and put it in the plastic bag and drop it off. Like, and my sister was furious. She's like, I cannot believe how much better this experience is of being in someone's wedding for a man than it is for a woman. It is like 150 billion times better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like, not an exaggeration.
No. And my sister was like, this is what they make women do is insane.
But that goes for like prom and homecoming and all those things too.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's the same shit. The boys go and rent a tux and, you know, whatever, cost them $100. And the girls have to go buy these dresses. The dress alone is $600 minimum. And, you know, and it goes up from there. And then they got to get their hair, their makeup, their nails, all that other shit, their shoes. It gets stupid expensive for a woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, speaking of girls, it is Girl Scout cookie time.
Woo! You know I love it, but I got to find me a fucking Girl Scout.
Yeah, that is a challenge for both of us. I wish there, you know, in some ways, because I'm in kind of like a townhouse complex, so there isn't like a central bulletin board that has, you know, sort of like neighborhood information. I think I'm gonna at the annual meeting, I think I'm gonna bring it up of like we should have some kind of, I don't know, an app or something that has like offers and whatever else. You know, that we can log into and have like stuff. Because right now everything's pretty old school, although they do send us text messages about various things or email blasts.
When I lived in Jersey, I found my Girl Scout down at the farm. Because hello, those are totally the girls of the Girl Scouts. So I'd go down to the farm and I'd ask Christy, I'm like, who's the Girl Scout this year? And then she'd point me to a couple different girls and I'd pick one and I would order all my cookies from her.
Yeah, I would imagine that the Unbearable Facebook group in my town, or probably Next Door, which is also awful, would have somebody's going to post like, hey, you know, we got a Girl Scout. In my town, usually some enterprising Girl Scout pops a table in front of the supermarket.
Do you remember years ago at the old facility? And we had the coworker whose daughter was a Girl Scout, and she would come to the office and take orders, and then she would have to bring in those giant suitcases filled with cookies to hand them out. That girl made more money than probably any Girl Scout ever.
Oh, yeah. Because that was, let me tell you something.
She made those killing.
Radio people are hungry all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you've never seen people eat so much in your life.
They're like locusts.
Because, like, people were always eating at that. Like, we had snacks and free soda, whatever, in the kitchen, but people were constantly eating there.
Yeah.
And part of it was like, oh, well, I have to plan my meals around my live radio show. So it's like, what am I eating before? What am I eating after? Like, they, you know, so people were constantly thinking about food. and snacking and whatever else. And then that was how you would also socialize with other people because everybody wanted to chat and hang out. We were constantly eating. Oh, Jesus Christ, what an office that was. Oh, everybody eating. Well, the Girl Scouts have a new flavor this year.
Oh, God. They're always trying new flavors, and most of them suck.
Yeah, so this one is called ExploreMores.
Okay, and it sounds like a s'more cookie.
It's based on Rocky Road ice cream.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So what's in it?
I mean, whatever, Rocky Road things. Chocolate,
well, I got chocolate,
marshmallow.
caramel, marshmallow, and then usually some kind of nut.
Right.
A peanut or an almond, it depends. That sounds yummy. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. I mean, I tend to just buy the cookies I like. So, I'm going to have all the Thin Mints. And I feel like they changed the name of the Samoa cookie. Am I wrong about that?
Maybe. Why?
I feel like there was a racism issue there that they felt like they needed to get rid of the Samoa name. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I feel like they did change it, though. Anyway, I love that cookie, the coconut and the caramel and the yummy. I love that cookie. And then so some years they're good, some years they're not. Sometimes they have a really good lemon cookie that I like. It's like a shortbread lemon cookie. I do like the shortbread, but I only tend to get a box of their just plain shortbread cookies because they're very simple, and I do like a simple shortbreads from time to time. But those tend to be my cookies. It's mostly Thin Mint mayhem for me. And I am the kind of person, Derek, I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't eat all of my Thin Mints all at once. I can hoard my Thin Mints away. In fact, I hide them. Let me be very clear about this, because if I don't hide them, those fatties I live with will steal them and they will eat them, and then I get mad. So what I typically do is I buy a box of Thin Mints for Iris, I buy a box of Thin Mints for Romy, and then that's all I give them. If they want more, they can buy their own. And then I hide whatever other cookies I buy for myself. And I tend to buy myself quite a few boxes because I can make them last. And I do. I don't eat them all at once. And especially now that I'm, got the diabetes, I only will eat a couple Thin Mints at a time. I don't eat the entire row of Thin Mints the way I used to.
It's called a sleeve.
Yeah, whatever.
And it is delicious. Also, I mean, the cookies have gotten smaller, so...
Well, and so have the rows, honestly. Everything has gotten smaller with the Girl Scout cookies. You pay more, but they're all smaller. Which is,
they shouldn't call these cookies ExploreMores. They should call them Paymores.
Because it used to be that you could get a box of Girl Scout cookies for like $1.50, right? And I think they're like $6 now, a box. They are much more expensive than they used to be.
And the box is smaller.
Yeah. Which is some real bullshit. But
I have to say the worst aspect of modern life really is shrinkflation.
Ugh,
because it really makes you like and granted, we have a portion size problem in this country.
Yes.
For a long time, to justify what like restaurants would charge for dinner or whatever, they would make the portions massive. And so then it felt like, oh, well, I'm getting so much because I'm, getting so much. And so the shrinkflation just feels especially cruel because we are used to this. We know what the size of things are. And so now when you open a bag of potato chips, when you, like with me with the snow donuts a few weeks ago, and now with the Girl Scout cookies, like, what's supposed to be in this. You know what the size is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And the price is higher than it used to be, and you're getting a lot less. Honestly, the one that is the most infuriating is the chips.
Oh, I agree.
Because the bag is smaller, and then you open it up, and it is mostly air.
So remember when you used to be able to buy like a small bag of chips, like a little bag, right? Like one of the little, like Doritos, right? We'll use that as an example. You buy the little bag, like a personal sized Doritos bag to go with your lunch, right?
Right.
And it was, let's say, 75 cents.
Yeah.
For the small personalized bag, right?
Sure.
And it had a reasonable serving size. That wasn't a lot, but it wasn't also like 3 chips. It was like, whatever. Let's say 10 to 15 chips, right? Were in that bag, right? Now, that same size bag has like 7 or 8 chips, if you're lucky, and it costs $2.50. $2.99. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck? Because I went to buy one the other day. I was walking out of the store, and I'm like, ooh, I was going to do an impulse purchase. And I was going to buy a little bag of Doritos because a little snickety snack would have been nice. And I went to reach for it, and I looked at the price, and it was $2.99. And I thought, I'm not spending $2.99 on a bag for 7 to 8 chips. Like, that is insane. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And by the way, a full-size bag with all, still not as many chips as it used to have, but a full-size bag is $5 to $6, depending on where you're buying it from. I'd much rather buy the full-size bag because at least I'll have a few real servings in that. Doesn't even make sense to buy a personal-sized snickety-snackety bag of chips anymore because you don't get shit.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, we probably shouldn't be eating this junk anyway, and so...
Of course we shouldn't.
So maybe this will discourage us from...
It did. I walked away from those chips. I didn't buy them.
But at the same time, it's just very disappointing.
Of course it is, because I wanted those fucking Doritos. I wanted those in my mouth. And then did I get those in my mouth? No, I had to walk away because it just was stupid. And if I was closer to the chip aisle, I would have just walked over to the chip aisle and bought a full-size bag. But the chip aisle was far, far away from where I was at, and I was on my way out the door. And
what are you going to do? Get more exercise? How dare you?
I'm not going to do that, please. Ugh, no way, Jose. No.
Well, this is the youngest show we've ever done.
We talked about menopause.
We're complaining about the prices of things because back in my day.
When did we get so fucking old, Derek? Jesus Christ.
Speak for yourself, bitch. I'm youthful, fall risk. Got my hip replacement surgery coming up in just 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, we're penny pinching in Japan over some ramen. Oh, can I just say I am excited to try some ramen in some countries where they know how to make ramen?
Well, so here's the thing about Japan that we learned when we were there.
Yeah.
Is that, and it's the same thing in New York City, in that, and I mean Los Angeles too, with any of these big cities, it's easy to spend a lot of money on food, buying food. But if you know where to go, you can get great stuff at a great price. And so, for instance, when we were there, we had like a fabulous shabu shabu dinner. And it was an outrageously expensive meal. It was great, and it was elaborate, and it was very expensive. And then we asked the hotel for a recommendation of just like a local sushi place to go to. And we ate sushi until I thought we were going to die for like pennies. Like, it was so cheap. And it was in the same building. So I'm sure there are more expensive sushi places in Japan, but it's like, where's the place that like business people go at lunch and just like grab some sushi? Where... the person who works behind the desk at the hotel, when they go to get sushi at lunch, where are they going? Because, on their salary, they're not getting the super high-end, expensive sushi, whatever. But I'm sure the sushi they're getting is excellent compared to, what we would get at a gas station or something here in America.
Yeah, we're used to blah.
Right. But even, I have to imagine that in Japan, even their like supermarket sushi is going to be better than restaurant sushi in some restaurants in America. Like, it's just going to be so much better.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I think it's going to take a little, I might have to do a little exploring online beforehand to make some like good, inexpensive places to eat recommendations for people when we get there. Because people are going to want to eat, like get off the ship and eat.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah, and I try to get people into places that are not like the tourist place that's set up right next to the boat dock.
Right.
Because a lot of places are going to be like that. The last time we were in, when we went to Florence, like everybody ended up at the same fucking restaurant. It's like, because the tour guides and everything are just directing everybody to the restaurant that, they got paid to send people to.
Right.
And... and like the food was perfectly fine. But like when you walk into a restaurant, literally everybody from the cruise ship is there. You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you got to go to the place where you see the locals eating.
Right.
That is the key. Don't go to
right.
the place where the tourists are. Go to the place where the locals eat. It's like when Derek and Iris and I were all in Paris together, and Derek took us to his favorite Parisian restaurant. That place was amazing. And by the way, no tourists were there. None. I think we were the only ones that were tourists who were there.
It was a struggle for us to order because nobody there spoke any English.
Right.
Like the waitress was like, we had to do a lot of gesturing. And she was over us.
She liked us. She
liked us fine, but I don't think that she enjoyed the language barrier.
Well, I mean, who can blame her? I get it. I get it. Anyway.
All right. Well, this has been a great, fun show. Who knew it was going to be so much about food?
Yeah, we hadn't anticipated that.
We
hadn't
had
even
not
prepared.
anticipated that, but you know what? That's how the show is. You never know where it's going to go.
But now I'm hungry.
Okay, well, eat up, everybody.
Bye.
Can't get enough of the show? Follow them on Twitter at DNR Show or like them on Facebook.
And don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe to DNR 2.0 at DerekandRomaine.com.